Well, hey, my friend, it's Matt. Welcome back to this second video in the Artist Cashflow Wheel workshop. I hope the first video was really helpful, and I hope you've done your homework and gotten through really starting to get a clear picture about what God has for your life and art and business and all of that. And it's going to be a great foundation to start having this conversation today, which is all about this idea of what products that you're going to start taking to the marketplace. So let's dive in, okay? Okay, so as we start talking about this idea of the products that you're going to take to market, it's really important to kind of lay a foundation. Most artists I've found over the years like to do a lot of different things creatively, but not all of them have the potential to make money. You got to know what has potential in order for you to have consistent cash flow in your life. For example, I think about myself. I like music, I like gardening, I like writing and speaking and making baskets and all of sort of those things. And each one of those, listen, has had a season in my life where they've been a primary focus and even where they've been a place that I would receive provision in my life. But some of those have always been hobbies, and some of those have sometimes been income. And so it's really important to understand that not everything that you do creatively has the potential to make money in the marketplace. And the sooner you embrace that idea, the easier this process is going to be of determining, how to get regulated cash flow, consistent cash flow into your life as an artist. Because here's the deal: market success requires artistic focus. When you're a hobbyist, you can play around with a lot of different mediums, but when you're moving into art as a business, it requires artistic focus, time and energy and resources. It requires branding, it requires artistic mastery, and also creative uniqueness. You got to choose where you're focusing your time in the studio and where you're choosing your inspirational moments. You've got to create a brand around what it is that you do, and that requires artistic focus as well. You've got to have time to master what it is that you're doing creatively, as well as allow your unique voice in that chosen medium to really begin to come forth. And so again, it's just super important that you realize that marketing success requires artistic focus. Without artistic focus, what happens is you end up pursuing things that you're passionate about, but have little potential to consistently create income. And unfortunately, doing so causes a lot of wasted time and energy and resources, which ultimately leads to frustration and overwhelm. You may really relate to that right now as you think about where you are. Probably, if you're like most artists, one of the reasons that you're so frustrated with your marketing is not actually your marketing, it's actually your lack of artistic focus. And when you can get that determined and you can get that deal settled in this season of your life, it makes the marketing and business end a whole lot easier to really go after and start managing and growing in your life. Now, when determining if a product has potential, I really want to encourage you to consider the following set of ideas. The first is what I would call fit and fulfillment. And the idea behind this is, well, does what I'm wanting to pursue align with the vision that God's given me for my life? Does it align with the lifestyle that I envision, the way that I like to make art, the schedule on which I like to create? Does it fulfill me creatively, as an artist? All those things are really, really important because, listen, it's super easy to create a business that will make money, but that doesn't fit your design or doesn't fit your creative fulfillment. And if you do that, it's a recipe for a lot of frustration. So that's number one. Number two, you need to be thinking about uniqueness. That is what I'm thinking about as a product and a primary product for the marketplace, is it different from what other people are doing in the same field and in the same, genre? And does it stand out among the crowd? We talk about this in our mentoring program a lot, diving a lot deeper in what most people call your unique selling proposition. That is, if you lined up 10 people that essentially do the same thing that you do, what would make what you do stand out and be different? What's the differentiating factor? All right, that's really important as you're thinking about the product that you're taking to marketplace. Number three, is it masterful? That is, are you able to create and finish your work at this point in your career in a way that is high quality, that is presented well, both online and in person, and legit. Do you have the skill to create at this level? That's really important because people that spend money on unique, original pieces of art want things that are skillfully and masterfully executed. All right, they're not looking for just anything that any Tom, Dick, and Harry can throw up on a website or at a show. All right. Number 4, does it have market potential? And a great way to think about this is, well, hey, is the product that I'm thinking about, the art pieces, the art line that I'm thinking about, is it currently being sold in the marketplace in some form or other? And are other people asking for that? Like, are your clients asking for that? Or, man, I would love it if you would do this or do that, but it's not quite out there in the market yet. That's how you start to see, oh man, there's potential, or wow, there's somebody doing that, but not like I do it. And if I do that, that would really help to solve a problem in the market or bring something really unique. You want to be thinking, hey, does this have potential? All right. Or is this something that people have been doing for years and years and years, and there's no differentiating factor than what you do? That may not be in that form the thing that you want to be putting out there as your primary product in the market. You want to push these ideas that I'm talking about and really squeeze them so that you can begin to get the unique, masterful thing that creatively fulfills you, but also has market potential. And then lastly, is it profitable? Can you actually make money from doing this product, from selling this product? Can you make it in a way and sell it in a way where there's profitability? Because you've got to be able to make a profit from what you do. Otherwise, you have a hobby. Otherwise, you get to self-fund what you do. Profit is not a bad word. Profit buys time. Profit buys opportunity. Profit buys studio space. Profit buys you not having to work another job. So profit is not a bad word for the artist. Profit is how you begin to create that consistent cash flow in your life. So when determining, if the product has potential, those 5 things are really great standards by which to measure your ideas and push your ideas through these, and don't back up from it. Be really pushed, because just like a creative idea, the more you push it, the better it gets. Think about this from a marketing perspective as well. All right. See, once you know what you want to pursue artistically as products, and you kind of start to get, an idea about that, then you can consider how many different ways you can market that to your audience through what I'm going to call a product suite. All right. That is a suite of products, or a way of marketing this kind of one main idea. Like for me, that's been sculptural baskets over the years. All right. So if sculptural baskets is where I'm going, then how can I market that and put that out to the market in as many different ways in a product suite in order to get as much traction as possible? All right. Now, I know that may be a little abstract for you right now, but we're going to continue to dive in a little deeper in this lesson, so that'll make even more sense. All right. So let's have a little fun. I want to take a little bit of a creative inventory with you so that you can begin to kind of brainstorm about, well, what might the products be? All right. So number 1, I want you to write down all the things that you love to do creatively and that align with your God-given picture. All right. Again, the picture that you worked on yesterday, what did you see yourself creating? What did that look like? How did that feel? All right. Write down, what are those creative things, those artistic things that align with that picture. And then number 2, after you've done that, circle the things that you have the most skill in right now. Some things you may be passionate about doing, but you may not be great at it. Other things you may be great at and may not be as passionate about. And then there may be some things that you're like, hey, I love to do that, and doggone it, I'm pretty good at that. So circle those things where that place of convergence is, all right? The things where you have the most skill. And then circle the ones where you have the most creative passion. By the way, this is a great opportunity for colored markers or something like that. All right, each one of these circles in a different color. All right, and now I want you to circle the ones that you see have the most market potential. All right, the most market potential. The overlap, where you start to see, oh gosh, I got 3 different color circles here around the same word. The overlap place is a great place to consider starting because it's something that you're already good at. It's got potential in the marketplace and you've got an artistic passion for it. Does that make sense? I hope so, because here's the deal. It doesn't mean you're never going to do the other stuff again, all right? It just means that they're probably not going to be the primary focus in your art business. And that is completely okay. So as you're doing that, just ask yourself, well, where do I see the overlap? All right. Now, I want to take it to the next level. All right. Because now that you've done that, all right, and you're starting to do that, and maybe you do that after you watch this video or rewind it to get the list again. That's totally cool. Now that you got the focus, though, I want you to consider how many different ways you could bring whatever that is that you decided to market as a suite of product offering. For example, maybe original pieces of art, maybe teaching the process or the processes that you use in a class, maybe variations within the medium or techniques that you're using, maybe using prints and reproductions, not just originals, maybe speaking like podcasts and retreats and events and things like that. Maybe writing a book or a blog or a magazine, getting articles in magazines on what you do. Maybe doing commissions and referrals, all right? See, all of a sudden, we're taking one thing that we do from that place of convergence, and now we're starting to say, how many different ways can I present this to the market in a meaningful way that can begin to bring income and opportunities into my life, all right? Now, this is super important for you to realize, all right? It's very rare to find a successful artist who makes their full-time living only from selling their art directly to clients. More often, their success can be tracked back to the cultivation of multiple streams of income that align with their artistic design and passion, all right? So I want you to, again, if you've got this idea that the only way to be a real artist is to be selling original work at big fancy shows or galleries, listen, that is one of many, 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 many different ways you can begin to create multiple streams of income in your business. So now that we've found that focus, now that we've started to brainstorm about how we could market that and provide a product suite around that focus to the marketplace, let's look at, well, what could multiple streams of income look like for an artist? Well, for a lot of artists, there are retail art sales. For a lot of artists, doing classes is a big part. That was a big part of my journey. For a lot of artists, having products like licensing and merchandising and reproduction work, doing books that are instructional books or inspirational, retrospective, even speaking. All of these things, all right, begin to come together into a product suite, all right? I hope you're starting to see how limiting your focus is not limiting your opportunities. Limiting your focus gives you that razor sharp opportunity to begin to focus on the things that really, really matter, all right? So for me, starting out, I started out with shows, and I also had a few galleries. I did a lot of events and conferences. I was teaching basketry all over the place, in my life, which was a lot of fun. Those 3 things, when I first started out, that was the core of my business. And I built a very successful business off of those 3 or 4 opportunities right there. And then as I got better and better, guess what? I started allowing those to grow and adding more and more streams into my product suite and into my marketing that allow me to grow my income. Just so you can kind of see from my perspective with my baskets and with my sculptural work, I've had a lot of different things over the years, the way my ecosystem looked, but I've had a YouTube channel with my baskets. I've got an online course. I've got a book with that. I've taught at schools over the year and conferences. I've done speaking engagements and that sort of thing. So you can start to see all of these things have income opportunity that really allow me to get out the word about what I'm doing, but in a very, very focused way. One of the questions that I get all the time is, Matt, you're so effective in what you're doing in marketing, and you're everywhere. Like, I look, you're like, how are you doing it? How do you manage all that? And I'm like, you know what? The reason I'm able to do that, and the reason other artists who are my students are able to do that, is because they're focused. Everything for me creatively is in the basketry lane. And so whether that's painting or ceramics or writing or fiber art or whatever that might be for you, when you put things in that singular artistic focus lane, that singular product line lane, then it's a lot easier to build a brand and build momentum around that. I'm thinking about my friend Margie and Lonnie, incredible couple. We've been friends with them for a lot of years and have privileged to have a first, really front row seat to their transformation over the years. They, always wanted to be an artist, but never really had the self-esteem to pursue her dream. And, Lonnie always thought that he could be an artist. It'd be a nice hobby, but, you really need a real career to really be successful in life and that sort of thing. Both of them struggled with self-confidence. Both of them struggled with artistic focus. They were kind of all over the place. But listen, once they started getting a hold of this principle that I'm telling you today, life is so different for them when they started determining what their focus was. They actually came together and started doing something they had never done before, which is sort of a convergence of all of their passions, which was not only nature, but also ceramics. It was something they could make together. And you can see the picture there. I mean, they started doing these incredible ceramic sculptures, just incredibly beautiful work. But guess what? They started getting that picture, just like we talked about in the first lesson, getting really clear about who God was in their life, what he had called them to, and then getting clear on the product. And guess what? Now they say, I expect God to bless us. And they're seeing it financially and artistically. They developed a unique line of nature-inspired sculpture. They're creating and selling new work on a regular basis. They were accepted into a really prestigious art guild, and they're also doing high-end commission work, creating multiple product lines based on this idea of ceramic, nature-inspired sculpture. All right? So what I'm telling you is not just some abstract idea. It absolutely works when you put it into practice. So here's your day 2 homework. All right? I want you to brainstorm all the product options that you have inside your business, just like we talked about earlier. Prayerfully determine which ones have the most potential. Then write down your ideal product suite. And listen, don't be overwhelmed. Think about 3 core products that you can start with if you're just starting out. All right? And put those in a succinct way on your blueprint, and then post your product suite in the Facebook group as an image, a text post, or as a video, so that, again, you can get others to celebrate with you and you can get feedback and that sort of thing. All right. That is your homework for this lesson. And hey, by the way, if you're looking for help on getting clarity on what you should be focusing on artistically that actually has potential, you want to go deeper, in that. If you're needing help on determining which products might have real potential so that you can build an art business that creates that consistent income, or if you want help on creating multiple streams of income in your art business instead of just relying, like a lot of people do, on just 1 or 2 silver bullets throughout the year, that's exactly why we created the Created to Thrive Artist Mentoring Program. It's a simple pathway for you to follow so you start thriving artistically, spiritually, and in business in the context of creative community with me right there along your side, and the ability to ask questions, learn, grow, dive deep, and do so in a way that is an easy to follow pathway. You can find out all about it right at the link that's below here. And we would love to have the opportunity to walk with you over the next 12 months in that program to take this opportunity of learning and growing even further and even faster. All right. I'll see you in the next video, my friend. I look forward to seeing your homework in the Facebook group. All right. Bye.